The science and magic of routines. 5 secrets to boost motivation. Do you remember the last time you felt truly motivated, wishing every day could be like that? Today, we're unveiling the 5 secrets to supercharge your motivation using the hidden power of routines and habits. By the end of this video, you'll be on the path to making that wish a reality. Imagine if there was a way to train our brains, like a muscle, making us not just more efficient but also consistently motivated. The answer has been right in our daily habits and routines. Science is here to prove it. We'll delve into the 5 secrets that will help you harness the transformative power of routines. We'll also guide you through practical steps to design and infuse these routines into your life. By the end, you'll not only grasp the science behind these secrets, but also have a clear strategy to boost your motivation like never before. Ready to unlock a new level of motivation and discover these 5 secrets? Let's dive in. Understanding motivation. Motivation is the driving force behind our actions and desires. It's the internal spark that pushes us to pursue our goals, whether they're monumental ambitions or day-to-day tasks. It's that feeling of purpose and determination that wakes us up with energy in the morning and sustains us when challenges arise. Without motivation, even the most trivial tasks can seem insurmountable. Yet, when motivation is harnessed, it paves the way for achievement and fulfillment. And here's where routines come into play. Routines aren't just about repetitiveness, they're about setting the stage for success, day after day. But how exactly does this stage setting work? What is it about routines that supercharges our motivation, especially when the initial spark might wane? The adoption of routines or habits can significantly enhance motivation through various psychological and neurological mechanisms. Here's an in-depth look at the scientific reasons. Neuroplasticity and habit formation. The brain possesses the ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections, a phenomenon known as neuroplasticity. When we consistently engage in a behavior, the neural pathways associated with that behavior become stronger. Over time, as a routine becomes a habit, the brain reduces the amount of effort and energy it needs to engage in the activity. This is because the basal ganglia, the part of the brain responsible for habits, takes over, allowing other parts of the brain to focus on different tasks. This transition makes the routine behavior feel more natural and less effortful, enhancing motivation to continue the behavior. Dopamine and reward pathways. Dopamine, a neurotransmitter, plays a central role in the brain's reward system. It is released when we expect or receive a reward. Routines, especially when structured with clear rewards at the end, can stimulate the release of dopamine. This sensation of reward reinforces the behavior, making us more motivated to continue the routine. Over time, just anticipating the routine can trigger a dopamine release, making the practice even more enticing. Reduction of cognitive load. Decision-making, especially for trivial choices, can be mentally taxing. This phenomenon is called decision fatigue. By establishing routines, you eliminate numerous small decisions from your day, preserving cognitive energy for more essential tasks. With fewer decisions to make, individuals experience less mental fatigue and can maintain higher levels of motivation throughout the day. Self-efficacy and mastery. According to psychologist Albert Bandura, self-efficacy refers to one's belief in their ability to succeed in a particular situation. When we engage in regular practices and routines, we become more proficient in those activities. This increasing proficiency boosts our sense of self-efficacy. As we become more confident in our abilities, our motivation to continue and even expand our practices increases. Social and cultural reinforcement. Customs, by their very nature, are social practices that a group of people consistently follows. When individuals engage in customs, they receive positive reinforcement from their social group. This social reinforcement can significantly boost motivation, as humans have a fundamental need for social belonging and approval. Incorporating routines can leverage these inherent psychological and neurological mechanisms, thereby fostering a more disciplined and motivated lifestyle. The 5 secrets. How can we effectively tap into these mechanisms in practical ways? Discover the 5 secrets to implementing routines that will elevate your motivation. 1. Start small and build momentum, the 2-minute rule. Initiating a task is often more challenging than the task itself. This rule suggests that if something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. For larger goals, break them down into tasks that can be started in 2 minutes or less. For example, if your goal is to read a book, simply start with reading 1 page. The key is to build momentum by taking a tiny step forward, which often leads to continued progress. 2. Ritualize your environment. Cue routine reward loop. Your environment has a massive influence on your habits. By crafting rituals that have a clear cue and reward, you can establish powerful routines. For instance, if you want to work on a passion project every morning, make a ritual of waking up, making your favorite coffee, and sitting at a specific spot. The act of making coffee, cue, leads to the act of working on your project, routine, which then gives a sense of accomplishment, reward. Over time, your brain associates the coffee with the productive routine, building motivation. 3. Don't break the chain. Consistency over intensity. Jerry Seinfeld, the famous comedian, had a strategy to improve his joke writing. He'd mark an X on a calendar for every day he wrote. The goal was to keep the chain of X's going. When you consistently see your progress visually, it reinforces your commitment and boosts motivation. Focus on consistency rather than the intensity of your efforts. It's about showing up every day, even if it's just for a short while. 4. Establish accountability systems, peer pressure and public commitment. Accountability can come in many forms. Whether it's joining a group, getting a mentor, or publicly sharing your goals on social media, having someone to answer to can drive motivation. Nobody wants to let others down or admit they didn't stick to their promises. By making your goals and progress visible to others, you're more likely to push through the days when motivation wanes. 5. Celebrate small wins, the progress principle. One of the most motivating factors for workers is making meaningful progress. By setting milestones and celebrating even minor accomplishments, you can generate motivation and a sense of forward momentum. These celebrations act as positive reinforcement, making you more likely to repeat the actions that led to success. Recap. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. Ask yourself the following questions. 1. The 2-minute rule. What's one larger goal you can break down into a 2-minute start? 2. Cue routine reward loop. What environmental cues could potentially trigger productive routines for you? 3. Consistency over intensity. How often do you prioritize showing up consistently, rather than focusing on the intensity of your efforts? 4. Peer pressure and public commitment. Who in your life could act as an accountability partner to motivate you? 5. The progress principle. What small wins have you celebrated recently? Reflect on these questions regularly, and adjust as needed, because it's not just about knowing these secrets. It's about weaving them into the fabric of your daily life. Every step, no matter how small, is a step towards a brighter, more disciplined future. Harness the power of routine and let it propel you to greater heights. Remember, each day is a new opportunity to write a chapter in your success story. Thank you for joining us. If you found value in this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's continue this journey together.